LA Sparks fans? Michael Matthew here. I'm stumbling because I'm excited for this one. It's going to be a fun one. The Sparks, after coming so close in their last game, looking to pull off the big-time upset. Michael Matthew here with DJ Tracy Trees here in the Crypto.com arena. This matchup tonight, very important. They're playing against the top team in the WNBA. What is it going to take for the Sparks to pick up this victory?
I think the tides are already turning in our sides. Jonquel Jones is not playing today, so we got a little bit of reprieve from JJ in the paint, giving Dearica a little bit more opportunity to get some touches in the paint. It's going to take a lot of paint work tonight. We, of course, got to shoot their lights out from three-point, shoot at least the upper 20s to 30% range. I think we can compete tonight. The energy is feeling good.
No, yeah, it's feeling good, but you still got to deal with Sabrina Ionescu. You still got to deal with Brianna Stewart. What things do you think we're going to see tonight from Kurt Miller and the staff to have these ladies do to try to slow down their two top players?
I think that it's going to be a chess match against the coaches. Both Kurt Miller and Sandy Brondello are Olympic coaches, y'all.
Yes.
So these two already know the matchups. The teams have played. This is the fourth time playing, so they've had a time to match up. I think the coaches are going to have to ask the athletes to play a little bit more physical today. So I'm going to love the level of basketball that we're going to watch because it's going to be a battle all around.
And I'm happy you mentioned that because, you know, before the game I was able to talk to Stephanie Talbot, the veteran who's been placed in the starting lineup, adjusting to her new role. And she said what she really was able to learn and bring back to the team was the physicality there in the Olympics. So that's going to be needed tonight to help them do their things. But we got to talk about Rickea Jackson, who has been starting off smoking hot these past couple games. What do you think it's going to take for her to continue to stay hot? And do you expect to see the same?
Yes, I expect to see the same. I don't think that Rickea is going to take her foot off the gas. She's already hit it. She's been getting double digits at the first half of each game. I expect to see a lot of the same. Even with the scouting report now targeting Rickea Jackson, I think she has the mentality to push through that and create offensive opportunities for herself.
And you spoke to Dearica before the game. And, you know, she's ready to go. She's still chasing them MVP votes. You know, and she's trying to bounce back because she kind of started slow after the break, was able to have her highest scoring game last time the Sparks played. What do you expect to see from her tonight? You already mentioned it, no JJ down there. What is it going to take for her to do for the Sparks to try to steal this victory from the Liberty?
I think Dearica already has the juice. She basically told me, you know, she's keeping it light. It's fun. It's basketball. She gets to do what she loves. I love her mental fortitude. You know what I mean? She gets knocked down. She's getting right back up. Dreams and Nightmares was playing. Here, Meek Mill was playing on the, and you saw them all vibing. I really think they're rallying together as a team, and we're expecting to see some good basketball today.
Hey, so don't just listen to us. We got Coach with the pregame presser.
Hey, Coach. We just got the word that Jonquel Jones is out tonight, so how does that change your approach for today's game?
She is?
Yes.
I'm only kidding. You know, again, they have lots of weapons. Obviously, JJ is really talented at both ends of the floor for them and anchors a lot of things, but our approach won't be much different. Game plan's in. This is our fourth time. We know we were disappointed with our effort coming out of the Olympic break against them, so we're anxious to get back up and raise our level of compete against them and challenge. We've challenged them that way. That's a big goal of ours, to have a higher level of compete tonight.
Hey, Coach. 3 games since Steph Talbot was inserted into the starting lineup. Just curious, you know, what you were hoping to see out of that change and how that's, you know, met your expectations so far.
Yeah, you know, Steph gives us a bigger presence, so we can do different schemes defensively, continue to explore different types of schemes when we have different lineups in. She's a facilitator. And at times our best passer in our pick and roll game from a wing position, and seeing how, you know, does that open up some opportunities for Dearica, Azrae, Lee. So, you know, it's all a work in progress. Obviously, I also like how Kia has come back from the Olympic break and played with confidence, and, you know, really has had some good energy that way. So, we're exploring lots of different combinations and looking at all that. So, we'll continue tonight to look again at Steph playing multiple positions. The neat thing tonight for her is, you anticipate now what's the chess match with New York's roster when we're digesting it, within the last few minutes. They're probably going to play smaller. So, now you see the versatility tonight with someone like Steph Talbot. She might be one possession guarding Sabrina, and 2 minutes later with rotations might be guarding Stewie. So that's some of the strength that Steph Talbot brings to a roster.
Hey, Coach, I saw you on Twitter, and you said you wanted to take responsibility. Obviously, I'm pretty sure that conversation happened in the locker room, but why did you feel it was important to share that publicly?
Yeah, I just think, like all of us coaches have egos. We wouldn't be where we're at without, a belief in ourselves. And, I bet on myself coming here to help rebuild a franchise that was very special to me, that gave me an opportunity to transition from a successful collegiate career to the pro career. And, I bet on myself that we could turn it around. The biggest compliment throughout my career, that I pride myself in is getting teams to overachieve. And despite our injuries this year, despite the illnesses, I don't think this is one of the teams in my 22 years of head coaching career to get to overachieve in the regular season. So, if I'm going to stand and be proud of my accolades, then I better be able to stand up and look people in the eye and say, I need to do a better job with this young team. And while we're competitive, trying to help them find a confidence in close games. And I just don't think that I've, helped them enough in close games. And I can do a better job with this young team trying to get to the finish line. Because, man, we played some good basketball against really good teams. And you would say that we are undermanned against some of those teams for 3+ quarters. But I would really like them to feel the elation of, all the way to the finish line.
Coach, Rickea Jackson has been a standout even in these losses, just really ramping up her production overall. What's the biggest difference between Rickea when you first interacted with her in training camp and where she's at now?
Yeah, I don't think enough can be written about the credit that she deserves on the growth of her game in a very short period. You see it from year 1 to year 2, or someone's in their 3rd year and you look back at where they were their rookie year. The amount of improvement that she has really displayed from May to August in a short window with a long break for the Olympic break is remarkable. And she will be the first to tell you when she watches herself on film in May, she's like, oh my gosh, over and over again. She's like, wow. And, it's just really a credit to her. And I also want to credit the coaching staff. My assistants have done a really good job of investing time in film with her, investing time on the court. But you can't write enough about Rickea's improvement within one season, and especially in her rookie year. She wasn't playing like this in May. And certainly, was playing a lot of different positions and a lot of different roles for us in training camp, the shortest training camp in the history of the league. So just really proud of her. And, not enough can be written about the work she's put in to allow her to have this success. And not enough can be written about that she deserves to be in the conversations just like any of the other top rookies. And she's getting that. And she's earned it, and it's nice to see the buzz. But man, the credit that goes to her at putting work in the middle of a season can't be stated enough.
Hey, Coach, DJ from Infanity TV. In the past few games, we've talked a lot about energetic cycles, just coming up and showing the play. How do you feel, and how is the team feeling in the locker room today ahead of this game against New York?
Yeah, I thought we had a good day of preparation. Again, we got back to fundamentals and had a practice where we were working more on, our basic core philosophy, and not necessarily New York. You know, like we wanted to get back to work. We know where we are in this build in this season, and so you know you could prepare for New York and go over 5 to 10 things that they do and just work on working on them. But the bigger picture is we've got a lot to improve on, and getting back to basics was really important to us. And one of the words that we've used over the last 48 hours is being more disciplined. I think at times this young team loses some discipline at both ends of the floor, and it's a product or a byproduct of their want. They want to help this team be successful. They want so desperately to be the person that helps get them a stop, to help get them a big basket. We got one stop in the fourth quarter against Dallas, one, but we lost some discipline throughout that fourth quarter because everyone was trying so hard. But now we're out of position, now we're exploited to fouling, now we're exploited to easier plays because of their want to was high, but we have to have discipline, throughout. So we get back to the basics. So I feel good coming out of the practice. We practice longer, harder than you typically do the day before a game. So I'm anxious to see what kind of energy they will muster up. If we're tired, that's on me. But bigger picture-wise, we really needed a practice like that.
For the last question, we'll go to Zoom. Jackie Howell from the Next.
Hi, Kurt. Thanks for taking this. Obviously, I prepped these questions before I knew that JJ was going to be out, but I will ask them anyway. Obviously, Jonquel, who you coached for many years, is having the best assist year of her career. So I'm just curious what you think has led her to this point where she's distributing the ball even at a higher level this year than she was in her MVP season with you back in 2021.
The funny answer is Sandy's letting her throw behind the back passes, and I didn't. But what I see, and I'm such a fan of JJ, and obviously traded for her on draft night, and was very fortunate to coach her. And one of the stats that I never see is JJ's the lowest drafted player to ever become an MVP. And so, it's just, I'm a huge fan. I think the game's slowing down for JJ. Like, she just has a real good feel for the game. She plays with great players. They have a veteran coach. But I think when you watch her, the game has slowed down. She was always a really smart player. She was good X's and O's, Y. She had good feel. But you can just see the comfort level that the game's not too fast for her ever anymore. And again, will always be a fan and in her court.
And I do have to follow up about the behind the back comment, just because the crafty passes they've been quite noticeable. I mean, it's not just the behind the back. Sometimes she just sort of like casually drops the ball and then Sabrina knows where she's dropping it. So I guess I'm just curious, was this like theatricality and swagger? So it was something you saw in CT in Connecticut as well? You just sort of were like, no, don't do that.
No, I just think it's maturation. I think, she's just, one of the best in the world. And again, I don't care if you put all these great players together. The second year is always going to be better than the first year. And while all those great pieces were put together, you can tell that there's just more chemistry. They're just used to playing with each other. They know how they like the ball. They know when that they need the ball. They anticipate each other's movements. You can tell it's a team that now has played together and just wasn't put together and told to be great because the paper says they're great. So you see the chemistry, and again, I think the game slowed down for JJ.
Thanks so much, Kurt. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kurt.
Thanks, Coach. So we just heard from Coach Kurt Miller, and he's talking about the ladies being ready. They're back here in LA. They're excited about it. They know how big this game is going to be. He knows how tough this game is going to be. So I got to ask you, DJ, for the Sparks to get this win, what will it take?
I think Coach Miller told us. He took accountability for the missteps in the close victories, and I think that coaching like that and hearing your leader say that to you and say it into the open press and tweet it on Twitter and be 100% rallying behind you, that's that extra push that we need, right? He said, hey, the games didn't go exactly how I planned. I got to be better for my young team. So that young team is then going to meet him halfway on that effort and step up tonight.
And it helps that you have a veteran like Stephanie Talbot, Dearica, Odyssey Sims, who's coming off of a 26 and 10 assist game. She's going to be asked to do a lot tonight, especially dealing with Vandersloot and Inescu. What has she brought to this team that kind of has solidified that point guard spot?
I'm going to keep saying it. Please keep Odyssey. She's brought that swagger that we need. She is that 1v1 player. She is not going to get out hustled. She is going to distribute the ball well, and she's also going to take accountability. We talked to her in the press conference of the last game, and she talked about those 2 monumental steals at the end of the game and how she knew she had to take better care of the ball. So I'm expecting her to get better. She's already tried and true. I like her game, y'all. I'm a fan of Odyssey Sims.
So before we go, who's that one player you said tonight, this player is going to be the reason why the Sparks steal this win?
I'm going to give it to Azurá Stevens. I love Z. Her game is always on time. And you know what? Without JJ there, I think she's going to get those extra touches. She also can shoot the 3-ball well. Spread the floor, expecting to see a lot from Z.
Hey, I'm a cheat. I'm going to go with the cheat code right now. Her name is Rickea Jackson. I think that Rickea is going to continue to light it up. She's found the groove. I think that her jump shot, you can tell she's worked during the Olympic break, that she got her jump shot together. So I expect her to come out knocking down shots. Another 20-point game, I say. Okay. And I think that's going to do it. No JJ.
No
that
JJ.
The Sparks are going to find a way to steal this win. Book it, LA Sparks fans. But we'll see. We got you covered after the game. Michael Matthew here with DJ Treacy Treese, LA Sparks Weekly, baby.
What's going on, LA Sparks Weekly? It's DJ Treacy Treese, and I'm here with the one and only Dearica Hamby. Dearica, my first question has to do a lot with one of my favorite things about you, your mental fortitude. Can you talk about, with the wins and losses looking what they looking like, how you get out there?
I mean, it's fun. I have to play basketball for a living, so at the end of the day, wins, losses, it is a job, but it's a fun job. So just enjoying being able to do this for a living.
Dope. Next question. Stephanie Talbot, 2 of your teammates, Stephanie Talbot and Azurá, just got contract extensions. Can you talk about what pieces they play for you and how excited you are to play with them next year?
I mean, they obviously bring size at both of their positions. Azuré's a great scorer. Steph plays the right way. She works hard. She makes good passes. She's a good shooter. I'm just happy to see her get her feet back under her from her injury. And obviously, Azuré's been a consistent threat in our league. So just having depth at the post.
Cool. And ending on a fun note, what's your number 1 song on your pregame playlist right now?
I don't have a pregame playlist.
That's a vibe. What do you do pregame?
Talk to my kids. I just told Maya today I have to get off the phone though, so I can listen to music. I listen to like mainstream radio.
Okay, we love that. We love that for you. LA Sparks Weekly. Make sure you keep it locked. We got a big game against the New York Liberty here at Dearica Hamby.
LA Sparks Weekly. I'm here with forward, the veteran, Stephanie Talbot. Let's talk about your Olympic experience. How was that for you?
Yeah, it was amazing to get over in France with my Aussies and come home with a bronze medal.
And, just being there in Paris, being able to take that experience and then bringing it here to, your Sparks teammate with so many young players. Just what things were you able to kind of talk to them about that you were able to learn about playing at that level?
Yeah, I think maybe just like the difference in the games. It's a lot more of a physical game and how we can bring that back here and play a bit more up-tempo, especially defensively.
And then, you got a new contract extension here with the Sparks. Like, what does it feel being a Spark and knowing that you're going to be here an extra year to try to help this team go to that next level?
Yeah, I'm excited to stay and help this team build, and I feel like I found a home here, and the coaching staff and the front office really believe in me, and likewise I believe in what we're trying to build here, so I'm excited for the future.
And, along with Dearica, you're one of the vets who has that Olympic experience and so many more years, and you're able to be around young players like Rikia and Ray. Like, as a leader, how have you been able to grow this year, and what things have you been able to kind of teach them about, being successful here in the WNBA?
Yeah, I think like Rikia and Ray, they're amazing talents, but helping them with, like the little things, they're both amazing scorers, but helping them maybe defensively or like little tactics here or there that's going to make them even better players. They've got the talent, they're amazing, but helping them get to that next level.
And with you being a WNBA player, you're seeing the growth of the league with the new deals that are in place, and you guys the name of the game is spreading so much. Just what's your thoughts of everything that you're seeing as far as the growth of the game?
Yeah, the game is starting to finally get the recognition it deserves, and it's heading in the right direction for sure. It's exciting to see the build of the league and the game in women especially. So
you guys were so close last game to picking up a victory. What do you think it's going to take tonight to try to pick up this win, to try to maybe get some momentum going down the end of the stretch here?
Yeah, we've had amazing patches over the last few games, specifically offensively, but we've had like a quarter or a 5-minute period in every game where we just kind of lack, especially defensively. So if we can put 4 quarters together, we're going to push this top team.
And Coach has put you in the starting lineup these last few games. Just how does it feel to have that trust from Coach Miller?
Yeah, so it's good to have that trust and help build. It's a new role for me. I think I'm still adjusting, but it's exciting.
Hey, so guys, you just heard from forward Stephanie Talbot here of your Los Angeles Sparks. What's up, guys? Mike Matthew here with LA Sparks Weekend. Look who I got with me.
Hey.
My guy, Mr. Entertainment when it comes to this thing, DJ Mosky. Just talk about that, man. The way that you're able to bring the energy. People are watching the game on the court, but you can feel it right away when you come in because DJ Mosky is on the 1s and 2s.
Hey, man, listen. World's greatest entertainer. Trained by Dougie Fresh, raised to focus on crowd energy, fan engagement, fan experience. I mean, that's what we do. Try to make it a party. It's a party everywhere. If I'm there, it's gonna be a party for sure.
So what kind of got you started? For that DJ Mosky fan that's like, man, I want to be next. How can I be at these games being a DJ? What kind of got you started?
Man, first start where you at. Start in your home. Start in your church. Conquer that. If you good, I started. My father had parties every Friday night. There's gangsters on the east side of Long Beach, so it's a bunch of gangsters. But that's where I started. It grew up. My first gig was Barry White. My second gig was Eazy-E, and so and you grow from there, and then you just keep getting better, and you stay passionate about the craft, passionate about the people. Don't be passionate about the money or something that fades away like jewelry or whatever. Man, be passionate about the people.
Facts. So a lot of people, you know, from the fans on the outside, that sometimes they don't got the bread to come in the building to watch the game. They don't know the importance of having a DJ bringing that type of energy. Like, how important is that for, you know, to go around, not just here with you at the Sparks, but just all throughout the WNBA, NFL, to have a DJ that's popping, that's getting the crowd engaged?
Well, it's as simple as this. What I do is called live event scoring, right? Imagine a scary movie with no scary music. It's not scary anymore, right? So the music is that important. Imagine coming here, I'm scoring, live scoring, the same way a scary movie would have an incredible theme or some incredible score undertoning the dark forest and Jason Voorhees coming as the music, you know, crescendos, you get, right? I'm doing that live here in Crypto.com, in State Farm Arena for the Arizona Cardinals, at Memorial Coliseum for the USC Trojans, at the Galen Center for the USC Trojans. Like, I'm doing it everywhere. Final Four, National Championship, Stevie Wonder at the DNC, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of, I mean, God is blessing it, but the focus is always on entertaining people, like serving people. That's what it's about.
And, you know, speaking about that, serving the people, you know, you be having your own little twisted things. You got the baby Simba where they holding the baby up. Just how do you come up with those types of things, you know, to kind of keep the crowd going? Because some places you go to, I hate to say it, some Laker games you go to, you don't get that type of energy. But, you know, how do you come up with those unique things that makes it so DJ Mosky?
Well, all I think about is, first of all, I'm a nerd. I like funny stuff. I like to laugh. Who doesn't like to laugh and watch sports?
Yeah.
What else is better? Good food? Imagine coming here having good food, watching sports, and laughing while watching it. Yeah. That's the whole goal, right? So I'm a nerd. I think of the funny in everything, kind of like comics do, comedians do, is finding the funny in everything. So I find the funny, and then I just try to display it in a very family-friendly, appropriate way.
So what are those go-to songs? Just before we get out of here, those go-to songs, what are those 3 songs that you like? If
For
I
him, it's
these-
Atomic Dog. Every time he walks by,
of course,
it's
of
Atomic
course.
Dog. It's
I know what that means.
For real.
But what are those 3 songs you would say, anytime I play these, I know I'm going to get the crowd going?
But see, that's the first mistake people make in DJing is that they think the songs have the power. The songs don't have the power. The crowd has the power. So you got to tell me what the crowd looks like. If the crowd is a bunch of 11-year-olds, the same songs don't work for a bunch of 40-year-olds. If the crowd is a bunch of Latinos that barely speak English, then I got to play some Ramon Ayala, you know what I'm saying? Or I got to play some, if the crowd is a bunch of ratchet, HBCU, just crossed, you know, fraternity and sorority, then I'm going to play something totally different than I would be playing if it was a Caucasian crowd from Malibu, if that makes sense. So you got to tell me the crowd, and then the songs are determined by the crowd. So that's a mistake a lot of DJs, you know, make. So I just gave a little bit of game that I didn't really want to get that secret, but I gave you some game. And it's crowd first. You got to be crowd first.
Okay, I like that. So, hey, y'all got the one and only DJ Mosky. Make sure y'all tap in, follow him, find him everywhere he is doing his thing, baby. Michael Matthews, DJ Mosky, we out of here.
Hey, man. Hey, world's greatest entertainer.
Yo, what's up, LA Sparks fans? I told you it was going to be litty before the game. It is exactly that. The Sparks, they actually won. They took care of business. 94-88 over the top-seeded New York Liberty. They were shorthanded, but it don't matter. You got to play the game, and the Sparks did exactly that. We're about to get attacked by a basketball, but it's fun. Michael Matthew here with the one and only DJ Treasy. Trees, the Sparks did it. What's your thoughts about this win tonight?
The thoughts about the win is that it was much needed, y'all. It's been a lot of home games here in crypto where we didn't get to put up those banners. I had to pull out my phone to get the video. I was like,
first time in a while.
I haven't seen this in a minute. But the Sparks always play well against top-seeded teams. They always rise to the occasion. We had multiple people in double figures. It didn't even matter that JJ ain't playing. You know why? Because we got hardship players. They don't got no hardship players. So we down bad, but the Sparks made sure to pull out all the stops tonight.
And they did a great job defensively. Of course, Stewie went off. She got her 30+, but they made it really tough on Sabrina. She was 7 for 21, 3 for 14 from the three-point line. Shout out to Odyssey Sims, who has been clutch, doing her thing. Not only leading the offense, but playing really good defense. How great was Odyssey tonight? How great has she been as an addition to this team?
I think Odyssey has been a great addition to our game here at the Sparks, y'all, because she doesn't really know the sets yet, but she plays really hard. In my opinion, she's the best 1v1 player in the WNBA.
Wow,
we saw that in AU Pro Hoops. She's better than Natasha Cloud. She's better than Alicia Gray, in my opinion. 1v1, it's really hard to stop her. She has a great pull-up jumper. She can get in, draw some contact. She also can shoot that three ball. And she's always trying to distribute the basketball, and that's why so many of our Sparks players have points tonight.
And they did a hell of a job defensively, forcing 18 turnovers, with those leading to 29 points. And, you know, it's something that we've been talking about. Like, everybody thinks offense, offense, offense. But defense, if your defense is great, it's going to make your offense look better. And that's exactly what we saw tonight. Just seeing them fighting through screens, fighting down low with what they had. Even when they went small, I know Stephanie Talbot, you know, we give her a tough time.
That's her nickname.
Glue, right? She came in and played great defense in the fourth quarter, making it tough for Breanna Stewart. Just what's your thoughts on the defensive performance that we saw in this 94-88 win?
I think this was a flawless defensive performance from the LA Sparks, y'all. They were doing all the small things that Coach Miller is usually talking about, right? Fighting through those screens. Stephanie Talbot got a block on Sabrina Ionescu on that last one that ended up being called a jump ball. So it's like fighting through those. You saw Ray Burrell jump into the front row because she wanted the ball that bad. So sometimes it takes that when you play in the top team to get to the next level, and we got the job done.
And they got the job done to finish the fourth quarter. Usually this team, we saw last game versus Dallas, big time lead. You give it up 40-18 in the fourth quarter for Dallas. This game they said no. They made sure, as I'm being attacked by WNBA basketball, but they made sure that they, you know, finished this game not only defensively getting the stops, but offensively getting buckets because of Ray Burrell making some big-time shots. What did you like about this finish? Because it was much needed for them to get this 7th victory of the year.
Now, I ain't gonna lie, the finish was a little wild for me.
Okay.
We were up by 10 with like a minute and a half. And then it got down to like 40 seconds. I'm like, call a timeout, foul. You know what I mean? It got a little bit. And then Stewie, of course, goes off his 2 threes. Luckily, Sabrina didn't hit that last 3, and we actually stood a chance. I love the fact that the Sparks were really focused on sealing the deal. They knew that specifically was the challenge. Dearica Hamby talked about it before the game, and I'm glad we got to execute.
Yeah, speaking of Dearica Hamby, who had a solid performance leading this team, she spoke after the game with Ray Burrell and Coach Kurt Miller.
If I'm not here and they do, then you know why.
Super proud of these guys tonight. You know, less than 2 weeks ago, coming out of the Olympic break on national television, did not compete real well against this same New York team. So for us to step back up, especially after the disappointment from Dallas, it just says so much about this team's character. Just really proud of them and for them. that they continue to just grind during this year. I think our practice yesterday, getting back to the basics and really focused in on defense, I just feel really proud of accomplishing the scheme that we wanted to try tonight against New York. So again, team effort, multiple people in double figures, our turnovers low, our defense really turned them over almost the 30 points. Ray with a big fourth quarter for us tied her career high. Odyssey, doesn't get enough credit for leading a team that she hasn't been with very long, but then chased around Sabrina the entire night at the other end. So full team victory for us tonight, and proud again. Just shows, despite injuries, illnesses, all the adversity that this team has faced, that we haven't quit, and that we're super proud of the effort tonight.
So we'll start with players' questions first, and then they'll leave, and then we'll go to Kurt. Start with DJ.
Hey, Dearica, DJ from Infanity TV. In our chat before the game, you talked a lot about the energy and how fun it was to play basketball. Do you see this game as a reflection, just retrospectively, of what we talked about?
Yeah, I mean, this game brought a lot of confidence to our team, especially our younger girls. And like I said, I think we all enjoy playing basketball, but it makes it a lot funner to get some wins.
By the way, Dearica had 5 assists and 0 turnovers.
0
tonight.
And so, Ray, this question is for you. Just when you're having performances like tonight, just how much does that do for your confidence moving forward for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I mean, everybody likes to see the shots go in. It makes me feel good. I'm just happy that my team was able to put me in great positions to get those shots, and I'm just happy that they are able to celebrate me too. That also makes me feel really great, the support that they have for me. So, yeah.
Hey, Dearica, this one's for you, Jackie with Jackie Ray TV. You guys always seem to show up in the right moments with the big teams. How have you guys talked about how you can make sure that that happens no matter who you're playing throughout the season?
Yeah, I think we've consistently shown 3 quarters out of 4 quarters with any team we're the better team on the floor. But we haven't been able to close games, so this is what we've been talking about. We blew it in Dallas. So down the stretch, we emphasized that we got to close this game, we got to close this game, we got to get stops, we got to get stops. And so just gutted it out.
For Dearica, as somebody who's won a championship in this league, knows what it takes to win at the highest level, For you guys, who have you kind of struggled closing out games throughout this season, to get a win like tonight, where you close it out, take control of the game in the fourth quarter, just kind of what does this do for a team that's young as you are?
Yeah, I mean, we know championship teams, and it's close, but they take time, A part of that last team I was on, it took us 5-6 years to get to where it was and where it is now. So we know it's a process. We think we have key pieces. We've shown that we have key pieces in our young team. And just keep building, like you said, we're not necessarily focused on maybe winning a championship this year, but we had a defensive practice yesterday and just focused on building for the rest of the season and next year.
Last question for players.
Ray, excuse me. At the beginning, at the outset of the season, you played sparingly. However, whenever you got in, you remained engaged. Can you just talk to me about your mental approach towards just being ready when your number is called?
Yeah, I mean, really just controlling what I can control. I have that tattooed on me. Just, controlling your attitude and the work that you put in, the extra work that you put in, and just staying ready and just make sure to continue to be a good teammate and just staying engaged, like you said, for when your number is called, and just know that you put in that work to be ready for those moments.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. Good win.
We'll start with questions for Kurt. Michael first.
So, Coach, just speaking of Odyssey, she comes off the big game, 26-10, and tonight, close to 10 assists as well. Just what has she brought to the team as far as her veteran leadership and just her point guard play? Because it seems like she's talking to, the ladies out there and calming them down. She's become, that voice on the floor for the team.
Yeah, she's a true vet, in a league that is constantly hunting for point guards. She has a proven track record. She's leading us. She's getting more and more comfortable every day. I told her again multiple times tonight that I really believe in her, and I believe that she's a closer, and I called her my dog tonight, she just, she just has the confidence and the swagger to be really, really special. So, she's had great moments in this league, and I'm glad she's with us now. She's a person that certainly deserves to be in this league. And she's getting more comfortable with us, which is a good sign.
Andres Soto, LA Times. Rukia was a really big part of that first half, getting you guys off with 15 points in the first half. And she was also coming off a career high from Sunday's game. How big has her growth been this season, and what have you liked from her?
Yeah, you guys, if we go back and watch film in May or talk about the training camp to where she is now, I talked about this in the pregame with the media that was here. It's remarkable how much she's improved within the season. She is competing so hard at the defensive end now. Like, she was fighting through screens tonight. She was switching and battling people bigger than her. She was staying in plays. There is a absolute intent and dedication to that end of the floor, which is really fun to see. It doesn't get talked about because she's such a dynamic three-level scorer. I don't know how many games in a row it is now that she has gotten us off to great starts, and we've played through her a lot, and she's had great first quarters. She is really, really special at the offensive end, and is only going to get better. She now has the confidence, and she knows she has the green light to not hesitate at a three. She's in a groove right now, shooting the three, and it's really fun to see. That just makes her even more dynamic. She's going to be a special one, and we're all seeing it, and we're all seeing the growth. But again, a shout out to my assistant coaches that watch tons of film with her and are in the gym working. But the improvement from May to now is truly amazing. It is not easy with the cadence of games and the season that we're having. It's not always easy to improve in season, and to watch what she's doing is really impressive.
Hey, Coach DJ from Infanity TV. Quickly want to ask you about your assessment of three-point shooting from New York tonight. Going into the game and your game plan, how did we fare in comparison to what you expected?
Yeah, they're a team that averages 33s. We went to halftime, they only had 12. So we felt really good about where we were at halftime, and not only their percentage of makes, obviously, but their volume, and that was one of the keys going in. They've averaged 15 made threes in those first 3 games against us this year. So again, they crept towards their average, right, to 30 and got some late. But I thought we did a really good job for the most part with our schemes to try to stay in place. Again, they're so talented even without JJ. And for us to turn them over into 29 points is one of our best defensive performances. And, again, that fourth quarter was kind of a chess match because of no JJ. They were playing smaller, so we played smaller. Very underrated, in that fourth quarter was the ability for Steph Talbot to be able to play the 4 and chase around Stewie, and allowed us to have a Ray on the floor. Yeah. If we were traditionally 2 bigs with either Azare or Lee, we may not get to see Ray the amount of minutes in that fourth quarter. So we went small also. I thought it was a good switching team, and it paid off, and Ray really stepped up for us in that moment playing small. But that doesn't happen without the versatility, as we talked with some of you guys pregame, on the strength that Steph Talbot allows us to do with all her versatility.
Hey, Coach, I had a chance to talk to Stewie, and she said that the Sparks are one of the most dangerous teams in the league, which means you're being recognized for the work that you're doing. So in the position that you're in right now, what is the focus going forward?
Yeah, I think that's a compliment, because I played with her children in Paris, so I paid her off a little bit. But no, just, coming from one of the greatest in the world, it's nice to see that people are seeing that we're growing. People are seeing and respecting what we're doing. It's not always equating into wins. We know that. There's no moral victories in this league, but people know every time that they have to prepare and they have to play us, and that we have a lot of young pieces, and again, we're doing this with a lot of injuries and illness. So I'm proud of them that they could feel what it feels like to win again, especially against a team like New York.
Coach, you guys had 29 points off of turnovers. Just what about the defense was able to make you get those turnovers, and how did it propel your offense tonight?
Yeah, I thought we did a really nice job of staying in plays, and that was some of our schemes, that we adjusted to. We kept them out of the paint better than we did the first, 3 games in the series. And while not perfect, we were better overall in transition. And part of that is your offensive execution. That's our second straight game, shooting over 50%. That's a really encouraging sign for our team to have 2 straight games like that. We had a franchise, record type performance offensively against Dallas. We didn't get to celebrate the win though. So, part of your defense is your offensive execution. It's your first line. So they're taking the ball out of bounds and not running at you because they're the best team in transition in the league. So, part of our whole defensive success tonight of turning them over, gets correlated back to our offensive execution.
Hi, Coach. Mia from Annenberg Media. At practice, you talked about how what you really needed to see in your team tonight was fight. Can you talk a little bit about how you saw that fight and how you want to see it going forward in the season?
Yeah, I loved our fight. I loved our start. I don't have to remind you guys, it was 10-0 in a hurry here, that first game back after the Olympic break with them, and I didn't think we responded to that punch. And we got off to a much better start. In fact, we turned them over the first 2 possessions of the game, and it really set the tone of activity, playing with active hands. We played that whole fourth quarter defensively against Dallas without turning them over. So, that certainly, we reminded them that. So when we came out and turned them over the first 2 possessions, that was a really big start for us.
Coach, Dearica aforementioned, you guys are able to compete with any team for 3 quarters. It's that fourth quarter that always gives you a challenge. Coming off the Olympic break, dropping 6 games, just what does it feel like to get a win?
Yeah, it feels great. I'm so proud of them. You feel better with wins, obviously, but, more proud that they proved to themselves that they could step back up and fight, and that we were better than what we looked like in that fourth quarter. Despite, we failed to keep talking about, we scored 110 points in that game. Yeah. But, it's really rewarding for them in that locker room. They already were going to have 2 days off, so nothing better than going to a couple of days off of a win.
We're going to go to Zoom now to Michael Vogel from ESPN.
Yeah, Coach Miller, if you look at the last couple of days, the bottom 3 teams in the standings all have big wins over playoff teams. You guys, Dallas, and Washington. Obviously, you and Dallas played a tremendous game the other day. Can you just talk about it? I just feel like nobody gives up in this league. Like there isn't, nobody's mailing it in, even if they're at the bottom of the standings. And you can see that in other leagues, but we're not seeing that. I wonder if you could speak to that from both the Sparks perspective, but what we're seeing, really with the entire league.
Yeah, Michael, I'm preaching to the choir. You understand this. It's such a fine line between winning and losing in this league. There are tremendous players, top to bottom. Zaya Cook continues to wait her turn and be a true professional for us, and she's a really good player too. So there's just really good players in this league. There's a fine line between winning and losing, and anyone can beat anyone. It truly is that way in this league. And if you can disrupt someone and you can get them on their heels, you can do this, and this is why you see it. And no one's, if I have to read the word tank one more time, we are trying to get better, and we're building something special, and no team in this league is going to quit. The 2-year aggregate, makes that, so silly to even talk about. But, again, I appreciate, the comment of our Dallas game. I thought it was a tremendous game. Disappointment for us, but what an offensive performance by both teams. And you know, both teams went into that game, you know, tied for 11th and 12th.
Last question, Raj.
Coach, the Liberty run a lot of actions to leverage Sabrina's shooting. You talked about the defensive schemes, but can you kind of go into specifically against her? 0 for 4 from 3 in the first half, 3 for 13 from 3 overall. Can you just talk about the success you guys had against her, especially in that fourth quarter to hold the lead?
Yeah, I think, you know, we tried to show her bodies. You know, it's truly hats off to Odyssey and Crystal that got the assignment in that first half. Odyssey just chased her around all night. But, you know, we tried to keep her off balance and just make things as difficult as possible and stay in place. Where Sabrina has crazy improved is, you know, being a 3-level scorer herself and being able to get into the paint, and with her float game and her mid-range game now is elite as it is. It's not easy to disrupt her, but loved our physicality. I loved our attention to detail on our Sabrina coverage tonight. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach. We're back. We just heard from the stars of the night, including Coach as well, who was like, hey, this team felt some type of way after that Dallas game. They felt that they should have won that game, and they know it's a growing team. And you see Rakia, who's figuring things out, like she's scoring 17 plus every game. She's showing some things. And, you know, Dearica is leading as a vet. But let's talk Ray Burrell, because for a player who has minutes that are up, down, she comes out and gives one type of energy that's giving her everything. And it paid off today. She was very aggressive from the jump, attacking the rim. And when she's knocking down her outside shot, she is a lethal weapon for the Sparks. What was your thoughts on her play?
Listen, Ray Burrell, you ain't got to get ready if you stay ready. That's literally Ray Burrell. She said the same thing in the interviews that we talked about. She has been waiting patiently for her moment. She's been putting in those extra minutes. She's been being a phenomenal teammate to her other teammates and waiting for her number to be called. Tonight was her night. I think we're going to have a lot more nights like this from Ray. I think her confidence is built. Her teammates can depend on her. I think we as fans can depend on her to show up for these moments. She seems more invested than ever and really trying to turn the rest of the season around for the Sparks and hoping to build next year with them as well.
And shout out to Coach, because he had some great things to say about the young Rakia Jackson, who shows not only offensively where she's doing some great things, defensively she's starting to pick it up. Like, I know that comparison people were talking about Paul George. She's showing you a lot of that young Paul George that made so many people fall in love with his game, to where she's doing a lot of those things. So it's exciting to see. So we got to get it. We got to get our players of the game. 94-88 victory for the Sparks. Who you got, DJ?
Hey, my player of the game, I got to give it to Mama D. It's going to be Dearica Hamby. I talked to her before the game. I got a soft spot for Dearica. First of all, she had like 21 points this game. She really showed out. She played lights out. She does the things that we need her to do. So I'm going back to Old Faithful. It sounds like I got a tape on repeat because it's always Dearica Hamby, but she is that girl. So for me, it's Dearica Hamby.
Do y'all even have to ask me this question? We already know who it is. It is the one and only Ray Day. It's all about Ray. Man, Sugar Ray did her thing. 18 points. She should have had 20. She missed them free throws, but it's all right because she gave you effort on both ends of the floor. And like I said, she looks to me like the prototypical 3-and-D shooting guard, small forward type of player. A game like tonight was one of those same exact things. A ball like that you see get loose,
she would have got it
on the floor to go get it. You know, so she's a player that I'm hoping that Coach continues to trust because she's like, hey, I'm ready to go. Just give me the chance. And she went crazy. It was Ray Day today for the Sparks, and that's why they were able to pick up this victory. So the Sparks are back Sunday.
Yes, they are.
Looking to pick up another victory. So hopefully they can keep it going because we see it. We see the hard work is going to pay off. Keep doing your thing. Michael Matthew, the one and only DJ Treacy Treats, LA Sparks Weekly. Go Sparks.